everyone. Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about mobile transport layer, that is TCP. TCP means transmission control protocol, and this section will introduce about several mechanisms of the transmission control protocol which influence the efficiency of TCP in mobile environment. Actually, internet is developed in those days where there is no idea of mobility, but GSM is designed keeping mobility in the mind. So supporting this mobility is the main aim of GSM. So supporting mobility is only done with the help of TCP, Transmission Control Protocol. Transmission Control Protocol is one of the core protocols of the Internet Protocol suite. Till now, whatever we have discussed, all these are performed under lower layers. If any big problem occurs, that time it is left to the higher level layers. But here, supporting the mobility means equipment itself is moving from one place to another place. Means mobile device will move to uh, one place to another place. So supporting mobility is little bit difficult when it is having so many applications. When one applications are increasing, so supporting this mobility is becoming little bit difficult. So only relying on lower levels, that is up to network layer, is not enough to provide mobility support for all the applications, because most of the application rely on transport layer such as TCP, that is transmission control protocol, or some other applications are also depending on UDP, which is called user datagram protocol. But still TCP is a the mechanism or the performance of the TCP behave in such a way that it says in a network friendly manner, whereas UDP is not that network friendly manner. Means whenever any packet loss occurs, TCP will perform anything to slow down the transmission rate, or to deal with the congestion and applying some slow start mechanisms, all these. So where UDP, if at all anything packet loss is occurred, that time UDP does not behave, as UDP does not behave in a network friendly manner, it will not pull back any packet loss, or it will not cope up with the congestion control or slow start mechanisms. So that is the reason TCP is called as a network friendly thing, and that is the only reason why TCP still now exists even today. This is the only reason for the survival of the TCP, that is Transmission Control Protocol. So in this session, we will see about the traditional TCP. Why we are calling traditional TCP? Because traditional TCP is the TCP which is applied even in wide network. In wide network also, transmission control protocol is one of the core protocols. The same thing is now introduced to wireless network. So that time in wide network, when TCP is used, that is called as traditional TCP. Okay. So TCP is a reliable, and it also guarantees in order delivery of data. That is, reliable means packet loss is not seen in TCP, and guarantees in order delivery of data means whenever sender sends the packet, receiver always acknowledges the packet. So that is the reason we can say that it guarantees in order delivery of data and incorporates congestion control and flow control mechanisms. Means if at all packet loss is seen in the router, that time TCP is the only thing, TCP transmission control protocol is the only thing which applies congestion control and flow control mechanisms. What is congestion control? What is flow control mechanisms? That we will see today. TCP also supports many of the internet's most popular application protocols and also applications. Okay, file transfer protocol or all these are performed under TCP only. Okay, and we can call that TCP is the intermediate layer between the internet layer and application layer, because both will deal with the TCP only. So that is the main reason why TCP still in existence. TCP uses a number of mechanisms to achieve high performance and avoid congestion collapse. That is, there are few mechanisms which TCP uses to control this congestion. How that congestion is controlled, that we'll see. And also the control rate of data entering the network, keeping the data flow below a rate that would trigger collapse. All these mechanisms include this. So congestion control is the mechanisms which TCP uses, where data flow, triggering collapse, all these will be performed. And also there are several mechanisms of TCP that influence the efficiency of TCP in a mobile environment. So every time when sender transmits a packet, acknowledgements for data always will be seen from the receiver. When acknowledgement is received from the receiver, then sender assumes that packet loss is not seen in between the routers, in between the way to the destination. So that is the reason TCP is called as a reliable one. Okay, if at all lack of acknowledgements or anything is seen, then immediately TCP will perform few mechanisms and uh, retransmission of packet or something it will do, but it will uh, avoid the congestion. We have come to the congestion. What is congestion? Before getting into the topic of congestion control, first we need to know about the congestion control. A transport layer protocol such as TCP has designed for fixed networks, actually means from fixed network to another fixed end system. So here data transmission takes place using network adapters, fiber optics, copper wires, coaxial cable. Means some special hardware is designed to route the packet from source to the destination. Wide cable means fiber optic cable or copper wires or coaxial cable. That is a wide connection from one fixed system to another fixed end system. Packets are transmitted. So here this hardware works without introducing any transmission errors, because from one end system, fixed system to another end fixed system, total wire will be there. So hardware is in such a way that it will not introduce any transmission errors. That is fine. Coming to the software is also matured enough, so that is the reason it will not drop any packets, because software which is designed to route the packets from source to the destination is introduced by GSM. So it is one of the successful software. So we cannot say that it is the software problem when packet is dropped in the middle. So if a packet on its way from sender to receiver is lost in a fixed network, means it is not because of hardware, because hardware is designed in such a way that it will not introduce any transmission errors. And now we can also say that it is not because of software, because software is mature enough, it will not drop any packet. So what would be the reason? So the probable reason for a packet loss in a fixed network is maybe a temporary overload at some point in the transmission path. So here maybe you can call it as a state of congestion at a particular node. So hardware problem is not there, software problem is not there. So the problem may be the overload. Overload means packets are moving continuously from source to the destination. So in the middle, in the transmission path, there would be a congestion. So here congestion may appear from time to time, even in a carefully designed network, because nothing is perfect. Everywhere some problem will be there. So here what is the reason for congestion means continuously packet buffers of a router are filled now. Router cannot forward the packets fast enough because some of input of the packets is higher than the capacity of the output link. Output link is not that capable enough to transmit the packets with the same speed of the sender. This might be one of the reason. This might be one of the reason of the congestion. Congestion. The only thing a router can do in this situation when sender is continuously sending the packets is dropping the packets, because output link is not having that capacity to receive the packets that fast like sender is transmitting. So what it will do is it will drop the packets, and drop packet is lost for the transmission now, and the receiver notices this gap. Whenever packet is dropped in the middle before entering into the destination, receiver will understand the gap in between the packets. That gap is uh, seen because of the lost packet. Receiver will understand, or receiver will notice this gap in the packet stream, but receiver will not tell the sender that packet is lost in the middle or gap is seen in the packet stream, because receiver does not directly tell the sender which packet is missing, because it has some other work. What is that other work means? It has to acknowledge the packets. Whenever first packet is received, it will send the first acknowledgement. Second packet is received, second acknowledgement is sent. Like that, in sequential order, it will acknowledge all the packets to the sender. But after noticing the gap in the packet stream, receiver will not tell directly to the sender, because it is having the work of sending acknowledgements in a sequential order. So, whenever that gap reaches to the destination, then only receiver will acknowledge that it does not receive the packet. So, missing this acknowledgement is nothing but transmission error, that is packet loss. So, here now, after looking at the missing acknowledgement, whatever the packet is lost, that acknowledgement is not received from the receiver to the sender. So now sender notices the missing acknowledgement for the lost packet and assumes that a packet is lost due to the congestion. So what sender will do? Retransmitting the missing packet with the full sending rate will be unwise now, because leaving the work of sending packets in a sequential order, it cannot send the missing packet again with the full rate. So it will obviously it will create one more congestion only, because packets are moving in a sequential order. In the middle, if you send another missing packet, then it would be unwise. So it is not guaranteed that all packets in the TCP connection takes the same way through the network, but it will hold the most of the packets. So to mitigate this congestion, to handle this congestion, what TCP will do is TCP slows down the transmission rate dramatically. Means now whatever the sending transmission rate is there, which is higher than the capacity of the receiver rate, that will be slowed down dramatically. So all other TCP connection experiencing the same congestion would do the exactly the same thing whenever congestion is seen. So decreasing the transmission rate will uh, handle the congestion. This congestion problem will be resolved if at all TCP slows down the transmission rate. So this cooperation of the TCP connections in the internet is one of the main reasons for its survival till today. So whenever any congestion is seen, TCP slows down the transmission rate. So that is the reason it is still in survival. Whereas in UDP, so whenever transmission error occurs or whenever congestion is seen, yeah, people may think that UDP is a solution, but using UDP is not the perfect solution because the throughput is higher compared to the TCP connection just at the beginning. UDP is known for fast transmitting of the data, fast transmitting of the packets. Okay, but UDP, whenever packet loss is seen, it will not take care of the packet loss, or whenever any congestion or any packet loss is seen. So here UDP will not take care of it. Only at the beginning UDP will send the packets very fastly. Whenever congestion occurs, it suddenly stops transmission. So only at the beginning it is said that the throughput is high when compared to the TCP, only at the beginning. But whenever congestion is seen, UDP will leave the packets for the loss. So that is the reason using UDP is the not perfect solution. Okay. So after that, congestion is a standard data transmission quality. Okay. Even under heavy load, TCP guarantees at least sharing of the bandwidth. Sharing of the bandwidth means packet loss is controlled or managed by using some mechanisms sharing with this bandwidth. So that is the reason TCP is known for the reliable data connection. So now TCP slows down the congestion. Why it slows down? At what time? How much time it will take? Slows down means what? I told you that it is whenever congestion is seen, TCP slows down the transmission rate dramatically. How it slows down the transmission rate? Every dramatically, how it slows down? That is nothing but slow start. Slow start is a mechanism which handles the congestion. Okay, slow start is the handles the congestion. TCP reaction to the missing acknowledgement is quite interesting. Okay, that is to get rid of congestion quickly, the TCP shows a behavior to detect the congestion is nothing but slow start. Slow start mechanism is how slow start mechanism is performed means whenever sender sends the packet. The sender always calculates a congestion window for a receiver. Means the start size of the congestion window is one segment. Let us think that the start size of the congestion window is one segment. Whenever sender sends one packet, it will wait for the acknowledgement. When it receives the acknowledgement from the receiver, soon after acknowledgement arrives, the sender now increases the congestion window by 1. Means now sender will send 2 packets. Now congestion window will become 2. Okay. So now again sender will wait for the acknowledgements, and soon after arrival of 2 acknowledgement, because now congestion window is 2, means 2 acknowledgements it has to receive. So soon after receiving 2 acknowledgements from the receiver, now congestion window is again doubled. Means first it sent one packet. Now uh, second time it has sent 2 packets. Now it is doubled again. Means it now congestion window will become 4. Sender again waits for the 4 acknowledgements. Like this, every time congestion window is doubled soon after receiving the acknowledgements. So this is how it handles the congestion by using this slow start mechanism. But here this scheme always doubles the congestion window every time the acknowledgements come back, which takes one round trip time. One round trip time means sending the packet, receiving the acknowledgement. This is called round trip time. This is called the exponential growth of the congestion window in the slow start mechanisms. This is called a slow start mechanism. But will the slow start mechanism is the perfect one to handle the congestion? Means it is always dangerous to double the congestion window each time, because steps might become too large. Means doubling directly means it is a single number or two number. When sending one packet or two packets is okay, but let us think if you are sending some 100 packets, okay, then it has to receive 100 acknowledgements from the receiver. After receiving 100 acknowledgements, the congestion window will double again. Means now congestion window will become 200, which will be a big step. So it may be dangerous to double the congestion window each time. So the exponential growth stops at congestion threshold, because when it reaches to congestion threshold, so it stops the exponential growth. Means as soon as the congestion window reaches the congestion threshold, increase of the transmission is only linear by adding 1 to the congestion window each time the acknowledgement comes back. Means after reaching the congestion threshold, the exponential growth is stopped and linear growth is performed. Linear growth means now congestion window is not doubled, but congestion window is just follows the linear growth by adding only one packet. So linear increase continues until a timeout at the sender occurs due to the missing acknowledgement. So that is until the sender detects a gap in the transmission data because of continuous acknowledgements of the same packet. So in case sender sets the congestion threshold to half of the current congestion window, then congestion is set to one segment, and the sender starts sending a single segment only, but it will not double the congestion window. Only single segment it will send. So now the exponential growth starts once more up to the new congestion threshold. If no problem is seen by this linear growth, then it will goes back to the congestion window, doubling the congestion window. When no problem is seen by the linear growth, again is go back to the exponential growth of the congestion window. Again after going back to the exponential growth of the congestion window, again after reaching the congestion threshold, it will come back to linear growth. And after receiving perfect acknowledgements, again it goes back to exponential growth. If it reaches to congestion threshold, then it comes back to the linear growth. This is how it will perform the slow start mechanisms. So that is the reason we have told that TCP will slows down the transmission rate drastically. This is how it slows down the transmission rate by using slow start mechanism. So this is the only reason for the survival of TCP even today. Applying the slow start mechanism and controlling the congestion is the only way performed by TCP, but not other protocols like UDP. So that is the reason TCP is called as one of the finest protocol of the all network layers. Okay, this is about traditional TCP, congestion control and slow start mechanism. Okay, thank you.